shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's what is the black girlfriend effect? This is
you don't know about
glow up the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got buzz cut, like clean shape up. Glows up, bro.
Yeah, I like that.
Black women are coming for James and Fahad. If you don't know James and Fahad, I'm going to kind of put their picture on the screen so you know what we're talking about. They have a podcast called Chicks and Gigs. Interesting podcast. In fact, I kind of enjoy their content sometimes. They are quite interesting. The two of them on a podcast, they crack jokes and all of that. That is not even what is going on. So they went to Atlanta. They went to the US because they're in the UK normally. So they went to the US, Atlanta, to maybe do meet and greet. I don't know. So they did podcast with Andrew. We're having a conversation about the black girlfriend effect. You all know when we talk about the black-white effect, a black woman will marry a white man and you will see the way he was looking before and the glow up is insane. When a black woman is with a white man, there's a glow up. So the white guy, which is the Andrew, he was like, he will not really say that it's glow up. He will say that they're stressing their men out. So he was kind of, talking down on black women. James and Fahad were laughing at the joke. You know that sometimes when you're having conversation with somebody and it's not a joke. They are insulting this set of people. You just laugh. You just laugh because maybe yourself you find it funny. Anyways, black women did not take this lightly. They were very angry when the podcast came out and they were like, oh, we can't believe James and Fahad can do this. We thought we were going to protect us. Okay, people were okay with Andrew doing that because that's not his first time. But you see, those two, they did not expect it because, when you have a favorite content creator that you love watching, you love their lifestyle, and all of a sudden they say something that actually pisses you off and you do not expect those words from them. It kind of hurts, right? Let me roll the clip for you all to watch and I'll be back to share my thoughts at the end of the video.
Shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's why they got to shave their hair.
Nah, bro. White guys with black girlfriends,
they grow a beard because there's more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of. That's hilarious. I think the black girlfriend effect, it might be a protective instinct, bro.
You think?
Protective.
Yeah. Do you guys have you ever had black girlfriends?
Yeah.
Have you ever had white girls?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. What's your favorite?
We love them all.
Yeah.
Oh really?
We love them all.
Yeah.
That means white.
Who gets
That means white.
Hey, let me do the US translation.
Kendrick fans? Get him!
We love them all.
That's royal English.
Anytime there's a video like this, you already know what comes after. Apology. An apology video always comes after. Do you know why? It's not because maybe they actually feel sorry. We can't tell anyway. Me, I cannot tell if they actually feel sorry anyway. But most of the time, apology video comes after because you know that you create content around this set of women and they're angry and you know you're going to lose your audience, you know you're going to lose money. So you have to come out and be like, okay, I'm sorry. It's not that deep. Okay. We didn't know what we're doing. We didn't know apology video always come after. Let me roll the apology video for you also. Watch and I'll be back.
If you don't, that's fine. But we just wanted to address something that's happening at the minute. This past weekend, there's been a couple of clips going around from when we did a session on the Flagrant podcast while we were on our US tour. And there were a few jokes made that were incredibly inappropriate. One specifically pertaining to black women. And in the clip, Andrew was making a joke. I'm not even going to get into specifics. Making a frankly racist joke. And we were laughing at it. And to give there's first of all, before we get into specifics or anything like that, obviously there's just literally no excuse. There is no excuse.
Agreed.
And fight or flight is a real thing. Like, it is, yeah. Fight or flight is a real thing, and it's so not easy to say, but when you're in those situations, you look at it through a lens of like, bro, if it was me, I promise you I'll stand up, I'll kick them cameras down, I'll smack homeboy in the face, I'll say this, I'll do that. But when you're in there, you're in shock.
You're in shock, and all you want to do is move on.
Yeah, bro, move on is the fucking word, bro. All you want to do is fucking move on. Just move on to the next thing. Just move on to the next thing.
There's
and
so
like
many
we had
times.
to say a few times, bro, just move on.
Just move
on.
So many different topics. You were like, move on. And
Yeah.
it's not even like about pity laughs or anything, but we just wanted to
get out of that situation.
Literally get out of that situation, keep the ball rolling. And we thought it was going to be more of like a bros chat, but it ended up being something that's
ended up being something that's like really, really hurt people that look to us for support and look to us to feel protected. And protected is the main thing that I wanted to discuss, is that it is our duty to protect you guys.
Facts.
And it is definitely not cool to be in that situation. And again, not be the ones to stand up and kick the cameras down. And we fucked it on that occasion.
We did.
It's not going to happen again. And it's about being human. It's about realizing that you don't know what you're prepared for. You don't know how to prepare for something
you don't know
that you
about.
don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And once it's happened one time, you're like, fuck, all right.
You learn from your mistakes, and that's literally
You
learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, we
man.
fucked it, and we're sorry.
We
and
definitely do apologize.
it's, for me, like, it's one of them ones where you don't realize that, like, for one, when you're part of a community, you don't realize that you can hurt your own community.
Especially
when you're not, when unintentionally.
Unintentionally, for real.
And also, on top of that, it was so crazy that, like, the narrative that's been spun about how we feel about our community, the irony of the fact that whilst the whole reason we're in that country was to just show how much we love our community and show how much we love our supporters and how much time we spent at the shows and just like getting to know people and just like understanding our community better and just like making friends and making bonds and showing love, and they're showing love. And this whole 6-week trip was just about showing how much we love our community and how much our community show out for us. And then to have that exact same trip be the reason that we're having to have this conversation now. But at the end of the day, mistakes make you a better person.
Mistakes do make you a better person.
You're not born a perfect person. And yeah, we don't condone, we don't appease that behavior, we don't rate it. And we don't want you guys to think that we were sat in that room rating what's going on.
We hold our hands up, we apologize, you learn from your mistakes, and we hope we don't let our community down again, because ultimately we do this for you guys. Like,
yeah, you guys are all we have, man.
You guys are literally all we have. You guys have taken us to this level, and we don't want to let you guys down going forward and anymore. So, you know.
Yeah, but anyway, on to regular viewership.
Yes, sir.
I have a lot of reaction videos I saw online. People were pissed. Both black men and black women were both pissed. But you know what? Black women were pissed because they actually expected these two guys to actually support them. You know, when when you kind of trust somebody, you like, this person is supposed to have our back whenever they're talking trash about us. But then you hear and they're just laughing at the joke. And at the end of the day, they said a word and said that since I've been in Atlanta, I've not seen anybody in Atlanta. And it's kind of like you're downgrading that community. So it kind of pissed black women off. Like, people were pissed. But some people were like, I don't care. That is your cup of tea. Let me roll some reaction videos for you all to watch to the end. And I'll be back to share my thoughts at the end of the video.
Sorry, I guess I have a whole different outlook on this James and Fahad situation, because what is the big deal? Yeah, your feelings is hurt. Yeah, he didn't protect black women, but honestly, what you should be doing is thanking that man. Thank you for not being protective of black women, because bullying a man or men to want to protect something that they don't have intentions of protecting is not going to change their mind. Because if they come back to the internet tomorrow and say, oh my God, black women, I'm so sorry, you guys are the queens, it's not truly coming from a good place. It's coming from a place of bullying. They were bullied to the point where they had to come back and say something. Because honestly, who cares? Like, are we really surprised that they wouldn't protect black women? Are we surprised that any men that a lot of us sleep with, or a lot of us are in relationship with, that keep breaking our hearts, that keep cheating on us, actually do like black women? I mean, let's keep it a stack, y'all. Like, bullying men to, or even making discords making discourse of, oh my God, I can't believe you don't protect black women. There's men out there that do want to protect black women. And when men like this speak up and they actually show their ass, let them say what they gotta say, because now you know, okay, that's one person that I shouldn't be surrounding myself with. Okay, that's one person I shouldn't be supporting. Making a discord about something like, leave it alone, baby. Like, pressuring people to protect black women they don't want to protect. It is what it is. There's a lot of black men out there. There's a lot of men that are not black that are willing to die on the lawn for a black woman. When those men speak up, let's praise those giving attention to a man or men that don't speak up when they're supposed to. Are we really surprised? Instead of feeding into that, y'all, let's find a man that do want to protect us, okay? When they come on the net and they say black women are so beautiful, they gorgeous, let's blow them videos up. Let's stop feeding into this, man, because they already know this is trigger. These are trigger words. These are trigger... Y'all ain't learned yet. They do these things. They put these things on podcasts because they could have easily dismissed that entire episode. They could have easily edited things out, but they chose to keep it in because they knew it was going to create a kerfuffle. They knew it was. You walked right into it, black women. It's time for you to pick up your Gucci bag, take your beautiful black behind, and leave it alone. Because at the end of the day, they know who they like, they know what they want to protect, and it ain't you.
I'm gonna make this real quick because I'm driving, but I'm seeing a lot of videos about the James and Fahad situation. The only thing I want to say about that is they're British. What were y'all really expecting? They're British. And also, if you watch their podcast, I haven't seen an episode of their podcast that lets on that they prefer black women or whatever the case may be. They don't talk bad about black women on their podcast, but it's not giving I ride for my sisters. Like, I'm not sure what the confusion is. They're British. James and Fahad this, James and Fahad that, James and Fahad this again. I'm not here. I actually don't want to make a video about black men, but I'm going to do it anyways because a lot of the videos I'm seeing are from American black women. And I wonder, are they aware, are the American girlies aware of actual, like, what happens in the UK? I'm telling you this right now just to provide knowledge and context. James and Fahad are probably the average UK black guy thinker on the better end. The average UK black guy thinker on the better end. It's psychological warfare out here. A lot of people don't know that they're residing in the sunken place. They don't know that they're eating cake in the pits, subconsciously or not. Your average UK black thinker on the better end. And hopefully that is all the context that you actually need to understand why they may behave or act that way. Because people are like, oh, I'm really disappointed in them. I'm really surprised by them. I, quite frankly, would have expected it. And I think that is because I'm here going through the psychological warfare. Your average UK black guy thinker on the better end.
James and Fahad. Is that how you say it? I thought we were safe. I thought the girlies were safe with you. Like, anytime black women try to be fans of black men in some capacity, it just feels like betrayal. It just feels like betrayal. I just saw the clip of, the guys from the Shits and Gigs podcast with Andrew Schultz, and like, they really sat there and giggled while Andrew like spouted all types of stereotypes about us. And then to be like, I ain't seen no baddies in Atlanta. James. Fahad. See, parasocial relationships be messing us up. You know what I'm saying? They be messing us up where we feel too close to people and we don't know them people. And this is one that has me messed up because you guys really just, wow. Wow. And I know y'all gonna come on here with the diaspora wars and they're British black and all that, but still, that hurts, man. That hurts, bruh. That is, wow. I just want to be able to like, I just want to be able to like a famous man, not black, white, purple, green, Hispanic, Asian, however he comes. I just want to be able to like a famous man because as soon as you be like, yo, I rocks with that one, boop, they go and say or do some, wow, just wow.
So podcasters James and Fahad are under flack right now because they went to Atlanta to be on the Poor Minds podcast, and all of a sudden when they were in there they didn't see no baddies. They said they hadn't seen none the whole time, but they were there. James said he didn't see any, and everybody from Atlanta, black women in general, are in an uproar. And I feel like this lesson keeps coming up and we keep failing it, so I'm gonna spell it out so we get it. As a man, you voicing your opinion on what you like and don't like, what you deem bad and what you don't deem bad, is not a right that women think that you should have. And from a man's point of view, it's just not a smart decision unless you just don't care about backlash. Like if you cool with hearing a bunch of stuff back, by all means go off. This is doubly so when you have a level of fame and a lot of dudes are the types of people who listen to your content or watch your content, right? Like to them, to women, you have a moral responsibility to claim that everybody's beautiful and kind of push along their beauty standards, which to a degree I understand because you don't want nobody to feel ostracized. But at the same time, as a man, you should really just keep your preferences to yourself according to how the internet views it. Now, from my standpoint, I say don't say anything, just move. Meaning, like, if you like a certain type of chick, you don't have to date that type of chick you don't like. Just date the chicks you like. Have the chicks you like around you. Dwell with the girl that you like, whatever it is. That way, all they can do is make speculations like, oh, he don't like this type of chick. All right, cool, but he never came out and said that, so all it is you assuming, or you trying to put evidence together and coming up with a case, and that's a lot of work that a lot of people don't really feel like doing or care enough about. Prime example, that whole Chris Brown fiasco where he kicked all the dark-skinned girls out of his circle when he was at the club and had only light-skinned girls in there, literally implied what kind of woman he likes, but he never came out and said he only liked light-skinned. All his baby mamas are light-skinned, but he ain't never come out and say he only liked light-skinned girls, and guess what? Guess who's spending $1,100 to take pictures with him? Women. Stop telling all your feelings on these podcast mics and then being upset when it comes back to haunt you. And as a man in general, give good PR, political answers to these crazy questions and just move according to how you really feel. It's that simple, bro.
I used to watch, James and Fahad's content, and I never expected them to trend, how they're currently trending for pretty much a very interesting reason. If you've not seen it, it's a segment of them having other two men in their podcast where obviously they created a safe space where these two other men who happen to not be black were speaking down and perpetuating stereotypes towards black women, saying that they're aggressive, they're temperamented, they might slap you, and so many things that again is associated, with again a stereotypes that you would think that a podcast that has two, men of color would actually use that situation to correct these two men that was making these claims. But no, they participated and enabled and continued this conversation and allowing those two men to get away with what they said because, again, they never cared. Which I'm so confused because these are the same men that will say that they love black women, they respect black women, but then will allow other people to speak down towards black women and not say anything about it. It's just very disappointing, but I'm not surprised.
Two men from London said there are no baddies in Atlanta. Why are you pained? Are you a baddie and feel offended because 2 men said there are no baddies in Atlanta? Let's talk about it. A little bit of background for those of you that do not know. James and Fahad of Shits and Gigs did their Daddy's Home North American tour, where they did shows across the US and Canada. While on tour, they also appeared on some American podcasts. One of the podcasts that they appeared on was Poor Minds, where they were asked about baddies in Atlanta, where James verbatim said the women in Atlanta are clapped. He has met maybe 2 or 3 baddies in Atlanta. He also further said they've only been in Atlanta for 48 hours. Maybe they are yet to meet other baddies or more baddies in Atlanta. The host of Poor Minds then said, what is your specification of a baddie? To which Fahad said, it varies. It depends whether you are thick and you own it, or you are skinny and you own it, you can be referred to as a baddie. Now Americans are pained. Americans are now pained because these 2 men said there are no baddies in the state of Atlanta, or they did not see any baddies in the state of Atlanta. Why are you pained? These 2 men live in London. Their definition or their specification of baddies is probably according to that, or maybe also in relation to other states in the US and Canada that they've been to. Why is this an issue? Honestly, now also coming for the whole of London or the whole of Europe, saying Europeans don't know what a baddie is if a baddie slaps them in the face is a stretch, honestly. And also putting the responsibility on the hosts of Poor Minds why they did not defend Atlanta women. It's a conversation. James and Fahad of Shits and Gigs were asked a question and they gave their personal opinion. Why are you so pained? Americans, why are you so pained? You are pained because 2 men said there were no baddies in your state. These are 2 individuals. They said what they said. They literally make money of giving their opinion, and that is exactly what they did. You don't have to agree with Shits and Gigs, but we will still listen to their podcast. We don't agree with everything that they say, but it's their opinion. Shits and Gig said what they said. They according to their personal specification, Atlanta didn't have baddies. Atlanta, if you want to have baddies according to James and Fahad standards, then you need to do better. Otherwise, ignore and keep it moving. Shits and Gigs said what they said. It is what it is. The game is the game is the game. Alright? Calm down. It's not that deep. Honestly, it's also not the responsibility of the hosts of Poor Minds to correct and defend Atlanta women with James and Fahad of Shits and Gigs. Honestly, personally, I just don't like anyone. I just don't like anyone putting slander on James and Fahad. It was because of Shits and Gigs that some of us got through COVID lockdown. Yeah. So please, you're gonna leave James and Fahad out of your mouth. If you're offended and you want to be a baddie, then do better, Atlanta women. Anyways, I said what I said. Let's talk about it.
I never even heard of the Shits and Giggles podcast until today. So clearly I've learned a lot about them within the past 24 hours. So of course, if you don't know, they did a podcast interview with Poor Minds, and they said that there's no baddies in Atlanta. And they also did an interview with Andrew Schultz, in which Andrew Schultz basically just insults Black women, and they sit there and they laugh. Not surprised by Andrew Schultz, because we already know about him. Crystal's been told us about him. I have an unpopular opinion about all of this. I spent 5 years in Phoenix, Arizona after living in Atlanta for over 10, right? And one thing that I learned while living there is that those Black men who only date outside of their race, they are the worst type of men. Not even Black, just they are the worst type of men, period. I had a lot of non-Black homegirls in Phoenix who dated these Black men. And when I tell you, they used to be putting them through hell. Even in LA, I know a couple of girls, non-Black girls or women who date Black men exclusively. And they be putting them through hell too. Like, they are the worst of the worst. The self-hate is getting projected onto these non-Black women.
The fact that I feel like also a lot of black men want to date outside of their race exclusively because they're running from trauma and they feel like that trauma is exclusive to the black community when it's really just your household, your family dynamics, your proximity in your community. And that type of trauma happens in various communities. Once they figure that out, once they're dating like non-black women, they get upset. So they put those women through hell. The things that I have seen, I've had to tell some of my non-black homegirls, like, girl, this is unacceptable. Because they be doing, us wrong. So I feel like they do them 10 times worse. It's crazy. So I say all of this to say, I don't really get outraged when I hear black men say, oh, they don't date black women. I clock it. I notice it. You could tell by the things that they say. That's why I think on that Poor Minds podcast, when they were saying there's no baddies in Atlanta, it was like, oh, yeah, they don't date black women. They don't like black women. That's not their preference, quote unquote. So it is what it is. But I don't take offense to it because it's like, go over there, please. Like if I hear a black man say that, that's kind of a red flag to me because it lets me know, oh yeah, you got some shit going on within you and you're no good to nobody, to no woman. I wouldn't even encourage a non-black woman to date a black man who says he does not date black women. If you don't date women who look like him, he's going to put you through the ringer, sis, every single time. So I don't get mad about that. All I will say is to the black women who were supporting shits and giggles, what did Kaya tell you? You put your trust in a nigga, stupid hoe. How you figure? That's, bless your heart. But just don't support them anymore. I don't think we need to make this a big thing because they ain't shit. I'm telling you. Most of the time, those men are usually the worst. The worst. And again, even if you have one that is trying to do the right thing because he is running from his trauma, usually he's running from his trauma, that shit's gonna come out in some type of way. So I never care. Have them. Please take them. Please take them.
I feel like the moment we women start putting men from a zero, so all men, right? Put them from a zero, let them start from a zero to they work themselves up to 100. We'll be less disappointed when we hear some things or see some things or hear them say some things that might personally affect us. First of all, I kind of think that they felt uncomfortable with the conversation. There was some awkwardness, like, the two of them were like, trying to just laugh it out because they didn't want to talk about it. They knew what he was saying. They were not okay with it. I can tell. I'm just trying to, what I feel, my own opinion, right? I feel like they were not comfortable. So they just laughed at it because one reason why I felt they laughed at it because I kind of think that they kind of respect that Andrew and they don't want to annoy him or say something that he might not like them. Probably you're with somebody that you really respect so much. You put them higher, and they're kind of saying something that you're not agreeing with, but because you want to maintain your steez, you want them to still like you. You want to be in the level. I don't know. You just want to gain their approval or something. You cannot laugh at all your jokes, even if you don't find it funny. That was what that video was giving me. I didn't watch the full podcast. That's what I didn't do. So just that short clip, I just feel like that was what was giving me. But then even though it's something that one of them should be like, oh no, it's not, but it is what it is. And again, it is content. And I feel like just like one of the reaction video was saying, the woman was like, it's something they will have edited apart and not post it. You had a conversation and you kind of felt awkward doing some places and you didn't edit that part because you know that, let us put this part because a lot of people will talk about us. We're going to trend and we'll make more money, of course. You put it there and you'll be like, once we put it there and we're trending, we'll do an apology video and that is it. We're justified. So I kind of feel like everything is all about business and finance because you can't tell me you didn't know if you didn't feel, well, even at that point, if you didn't feel uncomfortable or you don't realize what you were doing when you were editing, you should know that, okay, this part we're cutting it out because we don't want to, offend anybody, right? If that makes sense. And this set of people, I feel like they always say they like white women. I don't know. It's really shameful when you see a set of people that you expect to protect you and they kind of make jokes about you and they do not protect you. It's very annoying and it's very painful. But then I just feel like we women should know that, especially black men, do not have your back for anything. Like I just don't even know how to explain it. They don't. You should really expect the worst from people so that when they do things like that to you, you'd be like, expected, but we were expecting, like, expected. Don't be shocked. But I'm not saying black women should not be pissed at it. Yes, you're supposed to be pissed at it. But then I just feel like stop placing people here, people that have not proved to a point that they need to be here. Stop placing people here. Let them start from zero. Let them start from the bottom till they bring themselves up before you can now say, okay, this person I trust, right? Especially men. In fact, I'm talking about men most of the time because no matter how much you like their content, no matter, they are still men. They are still men. And you know what that means. If you know, you know. They are still men. So for me, as I said, I feel like they were not able to speak up because they kind of felt they kind of respected that guy. So they don't want to, say something that would make him be like, oh, you're not going to eat dinner tonight. When you're trying to please somebody and maybe you're trying to beg somebody for money and whatever jokes you just laugh, even if they're insulting you, we laugh. So that's what it was giving me, so that the money you ask them before the conversation they will give you, that's what was giving me. So, and I feel like these things happen most of the time when it comes to men. Men most of the time don't speak out when they are around people that they respect. They're afraid to speak up on what they believe. And that thing is very annoying because that's why you see some men also do it for their wives, okay? They kind of see, because they're with their boss, they kind of, laugh at jokes that is not funny. You cannot really say, oh, no, I don't actually find that funny. You're an adult, you should be able to know the thing. But I personally feel like they do not really like black women. They prefer white, which is fine. It's not compulsory. You like a particular race. Black women are not like, see, I just feel like black women will just be on their own and stray bullets will just be eating them. Kilo day. Why? Why is that? Why can't black women just rest? I just feel like because black women are so powerful. They are so powerful and people can't stop talking about them. So I'm not surprised. What is your take on this video? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. This is your favorite girl again, Maria David. And thank you all so much for tuning in today's video. And don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And please turn on the post notification bell to get notified once I upload another interesting video. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.